Reliance Capital's resolution has received tepid response, as only 4 firms have made financial bids for the entire company, including its subsidiaries, under the insolvency process. Indocent, Torrent, Oaktree Capital Management and B. Wright Real Estate have submitted bids in the range of just 4,000 crore rupees. When the resolution process began, over 50 firms had submitted expression of interest for various assets, but only a handful of bidders were engaged. The bids have to be approved by a lenders committee. The process for asset sale of debt-ridden Anil Ambani's Reliance Capital had kick-started in November last year, when the Reserve Bank of India superseded its board for payment defaults and initiated bankruptcy proceedings. Y. Nageshwar Rao was appointed administrator for the corporate insolvency resolution process. After Shrey Group's shadow banking arm and DHFL, Reliance Capital is the third NBFC to go under insolvency under IBC. Reliance Capital has a consolidated debt of about 50,000 crore rupees. But to expedite the sale process, the lenders hived off 2 entities of RCap, Reliance Commercial Finance and Reliance Home Finance, into a trust for a separate resolution process. It was done so that the bidders don't deal with debt of these 2 entities, which is around 25,000 crore rupees. Secured creditors have claimed 22,122 crore rupees and unsecured creditors around 3,212 crore rupees after the company was sent to insolvency. Major lenders include Life Insurance Corporation, Yes Bank, among others. Reliance Capital's lenders had offered 2 options to all the bidders. Under the first option, companies had to bid for Reliance Capital as a whole, including its subsidiary companies. Under the option 2, bidders have the freedom to bid separately for individual arms of Reliance Capital. Due to a tepid response from the bidders, the lenders earlier had to extend the timeline for submission of bids and the resolution process several times. The deadline for completion of the corporate insolvency resolution process of the company is 1st November 2022. Reliance Capital's 8 businesses were on the block for bidding, including general insurance, securities and asset reconstruction businesses. Under the second option, Reliance Capital's general insurance received bids from Piramal Group, Zurich Insurance Group and Advent International, while the company's ARC business got bids from Jindal Steel and Power and UV Asset Reconstruction Company, Choice Equity, Global FinCap and Grand Bhavan have placed bids for other assets of Reliance Capital.
I would certainly believe that at one point in time, Reliance Capital had some very nice businesses and assets. So, I mean, at prima facie, of course, without getting into the detail, we do not know what the bids are and whether the bids really have taken up some bit of the debt liability or otherwise. But I would certainly, say that it's on the lower side. I would certainly believe, that the lenders would have thought about a certain number or a range of numbers between which they would either accept or not accept the proposal. One of the options, of course, is, the option of once again sort of explaining the whole value of businesses. If they believe that the value is more than the bid amounts, they'll have to then explain it to the possible bidders. And why the lenders believe that the value has to be more. The second option that's available, let's say, is to examine whether they can approach the highest bidder and then, or the first and the second bidder, and see whether the bids can be improved. But to my mind, the most interesting one could be the third one, which is if they can really break that up into different businesses, if it is possible. I wouldn't know what is the cross shareholding and how much of that tie-up is involved, the corporate kind of structure related issues involved. But let's say, each of those businesses, whether it is mutual fund or whether it is insurance, particularly general insurance, between the two, they have value to it. And then they can contemplate whether they can really offer them in pieces or they offer the whole thing together.
But the poor response indicates that lenders are in for massive haircuts. It also showcases bidders' concerns, especially over equity of Reliance General Insurance, held by IDBI Trusteeship on the behalf of Credit Suisse. IDBI Trusteeship has refused to release these shares for the ongoing NCLT-led resolution process. The condition to make all cash bids also proved a hindrance in the resolution process.
Some of the subsidiaries are profit-making companies. And the Reliance Capital on its own has lending business, where these debts can be recovered. So as it is, it appears to be very low, but the COC will obviously negotiate with the resolution applicants, and they will try to work out the best possible resolution plan for this company, because resolving insolvency of a financial company is always a challenge, because there is no hardcore asset except the lending business or the subsidies owned by it. If value in subsidies is also value is reflected in the balance sheet of this company by way of assets, investment in shares. So the COC will have a challenge to work out the best possible, because there are limited options available under IBC for resolving insolvency of financial company. The amount is hovering around 4,000 crore, and if during the negotiation process, if they are not able to work out viable options, obviously there will be a huge amount of haircut involved in this, and provided if they are looking for all cash sale.
As the bids are placed, the ball is in the lender's court now. They have to take a call on the value of bids and evaluate other options, including negotiating a better deal with the proposed bidders. Whatever may be the case, it is in the creditor's best interest to complete the resolution within the stipulated time and not drag the process further. If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.